Hi guys, a lot of the focus over the last few days has been on the dysfunctional asylum system. Now the Tory government are trying to sell themselves as the fixers of that. It's broken and only they can make it new again. However, they won't own up to other parts of the economy and society that has also broken over 12 years of Tory rule. And thankfully someone in the audience of Question Time was willing to speak up on this. She also put in a very interesting Brexit-related question to the panel. Have a listen.
I'd just like to point out that the basic question was the system broken?
Yes, it is broken.
And you've just tried to spin to us
no, it is broken.
a whole,
it is broken.
A whole
it is broken.
myriad of things of making us try to lose track of it. But it's not just the asylum system. I would say that the NHS system has been busted. I think the transport system has been busted. I think education is in failure.
Courts.
The court system is in absolute turmoil. Dare I pick up your point, Mr. Rose, and say how much of this potentially is down to Brexit? And given so many of your party are prepared to stand up and say, oops, sorry, I made a mistake, I've changed my mind about something, is there a possibility that the country may have changed its mind about the effects of Brexit too?
Right.
Well said, well said. And she raised a very valid point here. The fact that the Tories can say, I fully support Boris Johnson, and then the next day vote him out. Vote him out through a confidence vote. How they'll say Liz Truss is the person for the job, and then they turn their back on her as well. And now Rishi Sunak is in charge, and I don't know how long Rishi Sunak is going to remain in office. But it's okay for the Tories to change their mind when it comes to policies or when it comes to the Prime Minister. But the British people are not allowed to change their mind when it comes to Brexit. Now, she raised points here about how it's not just the immigration system that's in crisis or that is broken. And it's interesting, Chris Philp, the minister who was nodding to this, yes, it's broken, but he won't say that the legal system is broken. He won't say that the transport system is broken, that education is broken, that the NHS is broken. Because then he'll have to admit, yes, it's broken under our time in government. It's broken on our watch. We have to take responsibility for it. So when it comes to the immigration system, they'll say, yes, it's broken, but it's nothing to do with us. It's because of these lefty lawyers or because of the European Convention on Human Rights. It's something external that isn't allowing us to do our job. Now, when it comes to the NHS, they can't find a scapegoat. They can't blame the EU. They can't blame foreigners. They can't blame the courts, whatever. They have to take responsibility for it. That's why they're not saying the NHS is broken. Now, some of them may say that and say the solution is to privatize, but they're a little bit they're at the moment in the fringe of the party. They're trying to march to the center, of course, and be the mainstream, but it's not palatable yet to sell the NHS off to the private sector as openly as they would like to. But how much of this is down to Brexit? Businesses can't access the workers they need. Hospitality is suffering. Agriculture is suffering. Importers and exporters are suffering. And politicians, especially in the Conservative Party, are ignoring this. Just this week, the Prime Minister at PMQs was talking about how Brexit was delivered. This is the delivery of Brexit? And once again, come back to the main point here, this, as this lady raised, Tory politicians are able to change their mind, but the British people are not allowed to. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.